Welcome into Lock It In with Cam Rogers right here on Believe. My name is Cam Rogers. So great to be with you here as we've got a lot to talk about here on the program. AT&T Byron Nelson PGA Tour event this week. My best bets for that tournament. The field is not good, but when that happens, there is opportunity for value, and I'm going to help you out there in that regard. Also, we've got some NBA playoff games tonight. Celtics and 76ers, game 5, and then Suns and Nuggets as well. Game 5 in that series. So I will have my game predictions for those matchups as well. Follow me on social media, Cam Rogers Live on Twitter and Instagram. Really fun week of content last week. 3 episodes of Lock It In. Of course, Believe Me is on this feed as well. Clay Harbor, Brandon Lang, yours truly, our best bets. Of course, shown on Stadium as well, Friday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern time there. So definitely check out our TV show. We thank you for tuning into the program. Let's get to the AT&T Byron Nelson. This is the 3rd year we will play at TPC Craig Ranch, a par 71, 7,400 yards, one of the easiest courses on the tour rotation. Expect plenty of birdies, eagles, a winning score of 26 under par, something along those lines. And when we have these events, these birdie fests that you'll see during the fall swing in particular, long shots tend to win because a lot of these birdie fests become putting contests. Your ball striking doesn't have to be that fantastic, at least leading into the tournament. And you look at the data, K.H. Lee has won back-to-back years at TPC Craig Ranch, 200-1 to win back in 2021. And then, despite being the defending champion, 100-1 just last year, and then went on to win back-to-back. So the number for Scotty Scheffler over at BetOnline and really anywhere is ridiculous. Plus 450 in the outright market. I will not go there. You guys know how I operate with super short outright numbers in golf. Can't do it. No value for the most part, unless you're John Rahm. Plus 375 actually now, because Jordan Spieth is no longer in this tournament. So you have Scotty at that number, and then Tyrrell Hatton, 15-1. Jason Day, now shorter at 16-1. He was 18-1 the last time I checked. Hideki Matsuyama, 22-1. K.H. Lee, 25-1. Matt Kuchar, 33-1. Pretty interesting number there. Taylor Montgomery, good young player, 45-1. J.J. Spawn lurking at 45-1 as well. So if you go outright, please do me a favor and don't bet the short number that you have there with Scotty Scheffler. Now, all of that said, I am picking a favorite to win this week because I think it's the perfect get-right spot after this guy missed the cut last week at the Wells Fargo Championship and burned a lot of people. 16-1, Jason Day to win the AT&T Byron Nelson. Again, perfect get-right spot for him. He did miss the cut at the Wells Fargo. That was his first missed cut since November. Think about that. We're talking about a guy who struggled mightily last year on the PGA Tour, really the last 5 years, and has finally found his game yet again. From December until March, he never finished outside the top 20. The stats are fantastic. 8th in strokes gained total, 15th tee to green, 11th in putting. Hard to find a lot of weaknesses in his game right now. I think Jason Day finally gets into the winner's circle. If not this week, keep an eye on him at the PGA Championship out there in Rochester, of course. The PGA Championship being next week. So if we see some good signs from Day, even if he doesn't win this week, I think there's going to be some value in him winning the Wanamaker Trophy. So outright pick this week, Jason Day. I did have Jordan Spieth as a top 10, and, well, he withdrew due to a wrist injury. So keep an eye on that as we approach the PGA Championship next week. So to replace Jordan Spieth for a top 10, Matt Kuchar, the best short game player on the PGA Tour right now. Number 1 in strokes gained around the green. Talking about resurgences on the PGA Tour, I mean, that has been a major theme. Jason Day, Ricky Fowler, Matt Kuchar, Justin Rose, Jimmy Walker, who I will talk about in just a matter of moments. All of these guys who were like afterthoughts in 2022 are playing great in 2023. Matt Kuchar, 4 straight top 25 finishes, 2 of which were top 10s coming into this tournament here. So I like him for a top 10 at the AT&T Byron Nelson. I've got a slew of top 20s here this week. Let's start with JJ Spawn. The last 2 years here at TPC Craig Ranch, there's been a theme for JJ. Starting off hot and then fading on the weekend. That tells me that he understands this golf course, but just hasn't strung together, obviously, 4 rounds that are good. So I think he'll learn from those experiences this time around and go ahead and post a top 20. He's been top 30 in 4 of his last 5 events as well. So flying under the radar, when you have a weak field, a lot of times guys who are coming into this particular tournament who have top 30s all over the place finally bust through and perform very, very well. So watch out for JJ Spawn here this week. Jimmy Walker, top 20. We're seeing quite the resurgence in this guy's game. He's finished inside the top 25 in 4 straight events. He's also, at 44 years old, one of the longest hitters on the PGA Tour. The short game is really good too. So put that all together. Jimmy Walker for a top 20 this week. Lock it in. Also for this guy, Nate Lashley. Weaker field, easy scoring conditions, great scenario for Lashley. Coming off 3 straight top 40 finishes. He's made 8 of 12 cuts on the PGA Tour. Has gained strokes on approach in 5 straight starts. Nate Lashley has a win on tour. Typically shines in these environments. So I do like Lashley there for a top 20. Those are my best bets for the AT&T Byron Nelson here this week. Let's talk about my NBA best bets. 76ers, Celtics. The Celtics are laying 7.5 in this one at home, TD Garden. This screams get right for the Celtics after faltering versus Philly in game 4. Boston has won 10 of its last 12 home games overall, and 15 of their last 20 against Philadelphia. I don't see any value in the money line here. I'm not willing to lay the juice, but this has been a common theme in the NBA playoffs. If the favorite wins, the favorite covers. And vice versa, if you like the underdog and the points, more often than not, I think it's like over 90%, the underdog wins outright. So just take the Sixers on the money line if you like the Sixers, and then the Celtics with the spread. I expect some regression from James Harden in the scoring department in this game. Give me the Celtics -7.5 to cover. And then the Suns and the Nuggets. The Nuggets are now laying 5.5. We're basically at a 3-game series now. Devin Booker has been fantastic, averaging 36.8 points per game. Jokic has been fantastic as well, but hasn't been getting a lot of help around him. The bench typically is better for Denver at home. I think you have to go with the home favorite in this one. Lay the points, -5.5. Denver 34-7 at Ball Arena, 5-0 in the playoffs. The Suns were just 17-24 on the road this season. This is your classic get right spot for Denver. Take the Nuggets, -5.5. They will cover. So there you go, my best bets for the PGA Tour and the NBA tonight, right here on Lock It In with Cam Rogers. Shout out to Bet Online as well. Plenty of more content to come this week. Follow me on Twitter at Cam Rogers Live. Also on Instagram at Cam Rogers Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will talk to you soon.